Hello and welcome to the Oakland A's UK live stream. And what a live stream we have for you today. I am Matt of A's UK, and what a result we've had just now. Boom! 17-0. That is 1-7, 17-0 as we say here in the UK. And just an absolute cruising away to a series sweep against Cleveland. And we are absolutely flying at the moment with the Oakland A's. We've won 7 in a row. There's no stopping us. Hopefully there's no stopping us anyway. But yeah, it's really going well, and you couldn't ask for more from this team right now. Only, what, a week ago, 10 days ago, we were all sat here thinking, oh, you know, the pitching has been good, bullpen's been a bit up and down, but we really need to get this batting lineup going. We're seeing too many chances going begging, too many times leaving runners on base. But look at us go. Absolutely piling on the runs today. 17-0. And you couldn't ask for more, could you? If you're watching live, either on Twitter or on YouTube, as you can see from the details down, the green bit on the bottom, send through your comments and I will pick out the best ones, or the ones that catch my eye anyway. And I will then put them up on the screen and we shall have a chat. So yes, looking at today's game, I mean, where do you start? I've got the pitching details on the side there. Chris Bassett, just lovely, easy win for him. 6 innings pitched. But then the bullpen coming in, Puck, Guerra and Diekman. 3 solid innings, no dramas whatsoever. Fantastic to see. And then the offense, just firing all over the place. But one guy I do want to pick out here, although it's all, you could say it's all about the offense with 17 runs being scored, we do need to take a look at the pitching. And particularly AJ Puck. It's the first time I've seen him live on TV since being called up again. And a lot has been said about his slightly changed delivery, lowering his arm a little bit, but he just looks very natural in his delivery and very under control, I think. And I was talking about this on our A's UK WhatsApp group. Is sometimes a way, particularly with tall pitchers. I was seeing it with Randy Johnson in the past. We've seen it. Chris Sale would be a good example too, whereby you look at the delivery and think, that looks a bit high effort, that he's potentially kind of throwing across himself. Let's try and change it up a bit. Let's try and refine it, smooth it out, and try to reduce the risk of doing injury. Well, Puck has had a whole bundle of injuries, so it feels a little bit like, I don't know if he has gone back to his old self, but it feels like he's just gone to something that's more comfortable. And yes, he's throwing across his body a bit. Yes, it's maybe not perfect from a biomechanical point of view, but if it works, let's go with it. Let's make him comfortable. And if it means he's a relief pitcher from now, well, he's going to be a very effective relief pitcher. But yeah, good to see Puck looking so good. And yes, here we go. First comment of the day. Laureano Uberanas, we finally have a team that can compete. It feels like that, doesn't it? It feels we've had so many come from behind wins. The game, I can't remember which one, but I think it was game 1 or game 2 of this series, where got back into it 2-2, then we gave up the run in the top half of the inning. Jake Diekman giving up the run, but you just felt we would come back. When whatever the game situation, you feel this team can come back and get a result, and that's the mark of a great team. It's not always going to be a perfect performance. I mean, today was pretty much picture perfect in all senses of the word. But sometimes you've just got to grind out a result. You've got to stick in it, work hard, work those at-bats, get the starting pitcher out, get into the bullpen, get to someone you can take advantage of, and put some good at-bats together. Keep the line moving, keep things going, and take your opportunities when they come. Just keep in the game, and I think we've been doing that very well. Of course, the pitching staff has been instrumental in that, but that's been a frustration for 2 or 3 weeks coming out of the All-Star break. The batting lineup wasn't really holding up their end of the bargain. They were showing up every now and then, but the pitching staff were putting the team in good positions to try and get a win, and we just weren't taking our chances. So it's fantastic to see that we are doing it now and doing it in absolute style. So there we go. Mitch Moreland, 2 for 5 today, 2 home runs, which makes it 9 on the season. He's a guy we really need to get going, that left-handed bat at DH. So that's fantastic to see. Matt Chapman, ain't nobody like Matt Chapman, as we all say. 5 walks. We're hoping he'd get to number 6, but he didn't get the opportunity. But 5 walks from Chappie, brilliant to see. Good at bats. He's still not looking entirely comfortable at the plate, I have to say, but good eye. That's what you need. Being selective with the pitches he swings at, that's a good sign. And yeah, really good. Even Tony Kemp, and we will talk about Josh Harrison in a moment, because that's the one blow coming out of this game. But Tony Kemp coming in as a replacement for Josh Harrison during the game gets 3 hits. Superb from TK. Superb. A friend in Twitter age chat said something I think is true. If that game 2 against Cleveland was in June, we lose that game. Yeah, I think we do. I think that's a very good point. It's there's something. This is an obvious way to put it. You get good hitters in, you're going to increase the chances of the batting lineup firing. But I do feel sometimes people put so much stock in the off season and a hot stove and the opening day roster. Well, rosters change over the course of a season, and I think that's something that David Forst and Billy Bean, our front office, really do well. They've got a limited budget, but they try and keep a bit back because they know if you can go and get a couple of bats or maybe a bullpen arm or 2 when you need them coming into August, then that can really give you a jolt. And I think that's what we've seen. I think we've seen with Marte, with Yan Gomes, with Josh Harrison, just having them in the lineup. It's not just them that are firing. I think it's pushing everyone else on too. Hitting is infectious, as they say. And we've got a run disease coming on here, and it is a good one to have, unlike for the Cleveland lot. There we go. French A's is on. Hello, how you doing, pal? What a win today, and what a time to finish as well. I mean, we're now, it will be coming up to 10 past 11 there in France. So really weird for it to start so early, isn't it? We're not used to them starting. It was a 10 past 6 start in the UK here, so 10 past 7 across Europe. But yeah, nice to finish off in a respectable hour, I would say. And especially with a 17-0 win, you can't ask for more than that. And here we go, Vondi Gaming. On a good roll right now. Damn, we are. Boy, oh boy. 7 wins on a row. And I think when you look back 10 days ago, we were nowhere near as bad as some people were. Some people were losing their minds a bit and worrying about every little thing. I think we were nowhere near as in trouble as some people were saying. We just needed to get a few wins, get the confidence back, get things rolling again. You knew this team had it in them. We saw with the, whatever it was, 13-game winning streak we had after losing so many games at the start of the season. We've got it in this team, and they're showing it, really showing it right now. And yes, it's fair to say, look at the opposition. We had Texas at home, Cleveland, who are struggling a bit at the moment with starting pitching going down. And we've got Texas coming up, but it's always the way. Every team can beat you. Any team, the worst team in baseball, can win 2 or 3 against you. We all know that. That's how baseball works in Major League Baseball. So there are no gimme games. When you have series against teams who are struggling, who aren't in the best of form, you've got to take full advantage. And to sweep up the Rangers at the Coliseum and sweep Cleveland in their own patch is exactly what you want to do, and it puts pressure on everyone else. We're now getting into that part of the season where it's a scoreboard watching, isn't it? Scoreboard watching. I know the games are going on right now, looking at the standings. You can't control what other teams do, but what you can do, get your wins on the board, and that's what the A's are doing. We take a look, I've noted it down, so the A's are now 67 and 48, so fantastic. I mean, we'd have taken that up, give us this, say, at the start of the season on 12th of August, you'll be 67 and 48, we would definitely have taken that, no question whatsoever. So we are 7 wins in a row, 1.5 games behind Houston. Lead the wild card currently, 1.5 against up on Boston, although Boston are playing Tampa Bay at the moment. So really putting the pressure on Houston, which is what you've got to do. We all know they're a very good team. Put the history aside, we know they're a very good team. So let's put some pressure on them. And yeah, let's see what they've got. We know they're a good team, but let's put them under pressure and see if we can break them. Anthony Perez says we need to re-sign Marte Bad. Oh dear. I'm sure, like you, we've all been A's fans for a while, I'm sure. We know how the story goes, and it's not a nice tale. Even with someone like Tommy DeStella last year, who, with different caliber of player, he kind of thought, we're not going to sign him back. We should be able to sign him back, but we're not going to. And you see that with Marte. He's you couldn't wish for a more perfect fit for our team, I don't think. And with what he brings on the base pads, with what he brings to the field, his hitting ability is there for all to see. You would want him on your team. He's a guy you give a 3-4 year deal to, no problem. But Fisher has no history of actually spending. And yeah, exactly as you say, I know we won't, but we need to. Yeah, if only. I think that plays into what are the team going to do, what is the owner going to do over the off season, and whether we are going to have another go, or whether with the likes of Manaea and Bassett having 1 year left under contract, things like that, whether we're going the route which we've gone before and we know how it goes. Maybe a bit of a restock of the farm system, which we don't want to go down that route. But the main thing always with this is let's take advantage of it now. Let's enjoy him. Let's enjoy Starling Marte for as ever long as he is here. And yeah, Laureano Ibarra says, cool player gets traded to the A's at the deadline or beginning of the season for 1 year, lend leave. Simple as that. It is. It is a shame. And the market we're in, it shouldn't be like this. We all know that. We're not a small market team. We're a cheap owner team. And it's very frustrating. And that goes into French A's point. Exactly. This team with Semien and Hendricks. Oh, you have to say it, don't you? Oh, no. Come on. We've won 17-0. Come on, let's not bring down the mood here, pal. Let's not bring down the mood. You're right. You're absolutely right. Marcus having a great season and in Toronto, just as we knew he would. And Liam doing his thing at the back end of that bullpen, now alongside Craig Kimbrell as well for the White Sox. Could see them in the playoffs, couldn't we? So really frustrating that we are always having to scrabble to try and keep our heads above water almost. If you're adding pieces to what you've got, then you've really got a chance to push for a World Series. We're always losing players, trying to fill the gaps, trying to fill the holes. It's just so difficult. And the front office are certainly not immune to criticism. They certainly shouldn't be above criticism, but dearie me, you look at what they've done. And especially, once again, with the mid-season trades, we have no budget to add anything. If you're the Dodgers, you can see Trevor Bauer, who they should never have signed in the first place. He goes off because he's up to, well, let's not get into legal trouble on that. And they just go and make a trade for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, because they can take that salary on. I think they've got some money from Washington from it, but we just can't do that. When we lose Trevor Rosenthal, which we were all excited to sign him, we lose him for the season, that money's gone. We can't just go and get a replacement like the Dodgers can, like the Astros can, like the Yankees and the Red Sox and all those guys. We have to be creative, and they do a great job of it. They do a great job of it, and to have made the moves they have with Marte, Harrison, Gomes, bringing in Chafe into the bullpen, to do that without really adding much in the way of money, fantastic. And it's really put us in a good position to have a real crack at the playoffs once again. And you can't ask for any more than that. We know the owner just simply isn't interested in investing money in a payroll to make us a real juggernaut sort of team. He just isn't interested, couldn't care less. We just have to hope we can fight, and we are fighting. Nothing shows fight like what the A's have done in this series in those first 2 games, winning both of those, and then coming in today. Said it a little bit earlier, you just want to take advantage. We've got 2 wins. This is a team that's struggling. Let's get the third. Let's sweep it up, just as we did against Texas. Don't give them one back and come out for thinking, oh, well, yeah, 2-1. That's a 2 out of 3. That's a decent road series. No, let's get the 3 wins. And you couldn't ask for any better, could you? 17-0. 3 runs in a second. I was just looking it up. completely gone out of my head here. So 3 runs in the second, 2 in the fourth, 5 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 4 in the eighth, 1 in the ninth. We just kept piling it on. And I think what was impressive for me in particular was the way in which Chris Bassett at first, and then Puck, Guerra, Diekman coming in, they didn't pitch like, oh, we're miles ahead. We can just, we don't have to give it our max concentration. We don't have to give it max effort. As Dallas Braden was saying in the A's commentary, you've got to view it that we've got 1 run lead, and I've got to bear down and make my pitches. Let's not give them a sniff of getting back into this game. And it must be so difficult to do because, you've got that far ahead. The likelihood that Cleveland are going to come back is very small. You can afford to give up some runs, but it's almost like a matter of personal, professional pride. We're not going to let you score today. We see that in soccer, in football, where even if you're 3-0 up, 4-0 up, the best teams, the defenders or the goalkeepers, hate the fact if they conceded 8 goals, so it's 4-1. You've got to shut them out. Put a goose egg on the scoreboard and stick a 17 next to it, and that will do all of us any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So fantastic news. The one bit of bad news potentially was with Josh Harrison. I'm going to have a quick look on A's Twitter. Let me see. If I can. Here we go. See if there's any immediate news about Josh Harrison. Looks like... here we go. Matt Kawahara from the San Francisco Chronicle. Josh Harrison exited with a right quad strain. Oh, that's interesting because I thought he was shaking his hand because he got hit on that the other day. Day to day, hopefully it's not significant, but we wanted to be careful and get him out. Absolutely right. That's absolutely fair. Fantastic. Other news, let me have a quick look. Here we go. Oops. Martin Gallegos, the A's beat writer on MLB.com. Chris Bassett estimates about 100 friends and family are in attendance today from Toledo to watch him pitch. Well, they certainly saw him having a good day of it, didn't they? Definitely. Fantastic. So there's nothing you can like more than a big win like that. And here's another one for Martin. Matt Chapman walking up for a 6th plate appearance after 5 walks. We may or may not have Googled what the record for most walks in a game is. yeah, right. Well, they were on the tablets looking at news up, thinking, can we do it? Not this time, but maybe another. Really good day for Chappie. Really good to see him working account and doing a good job. Some other news related to the A's, and this is really interesting stuff and very encouraging news. So this is from Melissa Lockhart of The Athletic, writes a lot about A's prospects and Giants prospects. 2 big additions to the Las Vegas roster. Nick Allen, our great young shortstop prospect who recently won a silver medal with the US in the Olympics, and KD, Chris Davis, he's on the way back, joining the Vegas roster tonight. Fantastic. And apparently, next one for Melissa is that also Buddy Reed, the star of spring training, is finally healthy, thank God, and back on the Vegas active roster, which is also exciting news. It certainly is. Saw so much from him. I know some people were getting a bit carried away, as we all tend to do, especially in spring training, but it's got so much athleticism, so many tools. You'd love to see him put it together. We'll see. We saw the fielding on display. It's whether his bat will carry him to a regular role in a major league. Certainly his fielding is good enough to be a 4th outfielder in the majors. But nice to see him coming in at Vegas and hopefully doing a good job out there. Obviously, we only want to see minor league players playing well in Vegas. Skyball accepted. He can play badly for all I care. But great to see KD out there. He's been in Arizona. Our friend Carl wasn't able to go and see him, unfortunately, but we want him in there. And there we go. KD, yes. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. So happy for him. Definitely DH. It could be because, Mitch Moreland, it's one of those things where we all wanted Mitch Moreland to come through for us, and it's been a struggle for him. And as far, I don't think he sat here now thinking, oh, well, KD's coming through, I've got to up my game. He's clearly trying his hardest, but I always think that competition, that strength in depth, it can only be a good thing. You know, if KD doesn't come up to the roster because Mitch Moreland starts hitting the ball all over the place for the next month, fantastic. We'll take that, won't we? But it would be an absolute storybook ending, wouldn't it, to have KD come back after the heartbreaking trade. We all understood it, but it was a real shame. He even looked sad on his official Texas Rangers mugshot, didn't he? To be DFA'd, basically cast aside, Rangers saying, even though the Rangers are terrible, we can't be bothered to pay you money to keep you on a roster to bring him back. That would be great. I mean, whether it's asking too much, we'll see, but it's a dream. What is life as a sports fan if you can't dream about something like KD coming back and hitting a big home run for us? Yes. So Anthony Perez makes a very good point. I think Mitch should worry about a Jed full-time DH rather than KD. Yeah, that's very good. Jed has been DHing a bit more. I think it's fair to say Jed has played second base, especially consecutive days, a lot more than any of us imagined he would do when we traded for him. You know, I don't think any of us were really sure he would stick on the roster. Been an incredible pickup. So it's been great to have him there, but let's not push our luck with him. Let's hopefully think that, you know, Jed can still be in the field but can get some time off. So, yeah, I think he's more likely to take at-bats away from Mitch Moreland. Same old thing, isn't it? Mitch Moreland, left-handed hitter, so it depends on the pitcher. Jed being a switch hitter, he can hit either way. So, yeah. So, let's have a look. Laureano, Uber Anna's just about to talk about Chris being in the minors. Let's go, Chris Ham, buddy. This is a good day for the A's. Certainly is. Buddy Reed, greatest spring training A's player ever, potentially. That's a good title to have, isn't it? It was really exciting to see him, and because he's a name we've heard about. We got him in a trade. I can't remember which trade we got him in. Was it the Jerickson profile trade with the Padres? I can't remember now. We'll see, but yeah, it would be good to have him come through. And Laureano, Uber Alice. KD's new mugshot with the A's looks like he's a contempt old man now. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, whatever happens, he's back with the team. This is perhaps a negative way of looking at it. So let me put that to one side. But if the A's do trade away some players over the offseason, which is potential, you want good things for next season, at least to look forward to as an A's fan, and maybe KD coming in and hitting some home runs and bringing his veteran presence to younger players like a Nick Allen. I know, very different hitter, but some of those young players coming through, having KD there in the team would be something really great for us for next season. So maybe that's part of the deal here. But yeah. Franchise, the KD trade is a steal. KD for Elvis, KD released back home. Yes. We planned it all along, didn't we? Hey, Agent Davis coming to the rescue there. We knew he'd slack off when he went to Texas, so he'd work his way back. Good stuff. Be interesting to see what they do with Elvis, actually, wasn't it? Because he's got $14 million coming to him next season. Nick Allen now coming up to AAA. He's going to play shortstop. That's his calling card. He's a potential Gold Glove caliber fielder at shortstop. So he's going to, injuries aside, fingers crossed on that, he will be up with a big league team, if not opening day roster, certainly some point. So we'll see what they do with Elvis next year. But he's been really good. After April, he's been exactly what we hoped for. Great positive presence. Again, the sort of veteran leadership you need in a team. And you really want, when you're going through tough times like we did a few weeks ago, you've got that, the experience, the positivity, been there, done that, knows that this is what happens in a long major league season. You go through peaks and valleys, sets the right tone, and brings that leadership that we lost with losing Marcus Semien and Liam Hendricks. So, yeah, that's worked out really well, I think. Mariano Uber Alex, Rangers are a bum franchise. They are a bit, aren't they? Yeah. Says the trade is pretty much Jonah Heim for Elvis Andrus. It is pretty much. I'm glad to see Jonah has had plenty of playing time there. I know it's a bit by default because they don't really have much else good going for them. But yeah, really glad he found a good spot and is getting some good playing time and hitting a few home runs. So good on him. But that obviously leads us to this weekend, doesn't it? Let's bring up this is the full schedule for the week. So we've gone through the Cleveland series. So this is all the times in British summertime. So great start to the week. And we now have a 3-game series in Texas. Friday and Saturday are night games in Texas, so nighttime for us in the UK, although not as late as they usually are because with it being Central Time. And then Sunday, that's the early game, and here in the UK, that is a 7:35 p.m. start here in the UK. So 8:35 across Europe, and whatever that would be, 11:35 in Oakland, I think. There we go. Multiplex on Sunday. Yeah, we need to keep it going, I think. As we've got lots coming this weekend here in England. We've got the English Premier League going again, starting off tomorrow night, in fact. I'll be going to Norwich, who are my team. We're back in the Premier League, probably for one season, as is normally the case. We're playing on Saturday against Liverpool, which is Dom's team. So, yeah, that's going to go badly, I suspect. But there we go. We'll see. 17-0. I'm pretty confident Norwich won't lose 17-0. So that's one thing. I'll be ahead on the week, whatever happens here. Now we've got the 17-0 by the A's in the bank. I'm sure we'll be okay across the way. But yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant to see. Great to have the team doing so well. And just having a quick look around. Let's have another look on the updates. So yeah, pretty much as we've had it. Enable that. So this is from Vince Cotroneo, who we'll know from the Age radio broadcast. It's easy to say Matt Chapman has had some challenges on the field this season, but his candour and willingness to expand on his answers makes him a special player and leader, and that's certainly something you see from him. He never shirks the media commitments. He never shirks anything. You can tell we hoped that he would be fit and healthy again. I'm not entirely sure if that is true. You'd like to, in some ways, think it's not, because you'd like to see him doing better if he is finally healthy. But he's definitely doing well in terms of his fielding. Again, I think he was a little bit sketchy with that at the start, making a few plays or a few mistakes you wouldn't quite expect him to see, but he's been his superlative best. Just want him to get get the bat going, really. So Nate says, are you the reason Norwich players do the Bernie, and do they still do that? I'll be honest, I've never noticed that they do it, to be honest. Maybe they are secretly trolling me. Maybe this is some great plot by the squad. I don't know. But I haven't noticed it, to be honest with you. But it would be quite nice. It would be a nice little tribute to Coco Crisp as much as anything. One of my favourite A's players. But yeah, we'll be doing we tend to do the yo-yo is what we do as a team. Go up, then we go down, go up, go down. But yeah, it's better than mid-table mediocrity in the second league. So we'll take it. Is defense really shutting them down in this football game? Yeah, it was pretty much like that, wasn't it? It was a football score in terms of NFL score. If that's a football score as in soccer, then you're really struggling to lose 17-0. It's been great to see today, and I think you can't expect a 17-0, and there's always that voice at the back of your head thinking, don't use up all those runs all in one go, because apparently they totally used to do it. I'm looking on YouTube. Okay, maybe they did at some point. I don't remember it. Maybe they did. If you find it on YouTube, let me know and I'll have a look. I will confirm or deny at that point, but I don't know as yet. It would be really strange, I will have to say, because I've been a season ticket holder at Norwich for about 17 years. So it's been since whatever it was, early March last year, 2020. So it's been like 16 months or so since I've been to Carrow Road where we play to see the team. So I'm both very excited, but also a little bit apprehensive because it's it feels a very weird situation to be in with full capacity, no restrictions, and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine when we get there, and I'm sure I'll be brought back down, crashing to earth by us probably losing to Liverpool. That will be a familiar feeling for us, at least. A sense of normality will come in the form of Liverpool giving us a housing, probably. But we'll see. I live in hope, as always. So Laureano, Uber Alice, the whole gang is here, so to speak. One more game and we're 20 games over 500. We're going really, really well, and you just can't knock it. And again, people really go overboard sometimes when you go through some struggles. Every team goes through struggles over the course of a season. We're a good team. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Lots of people will talk us down or don't talk us up. They'll talk up the bloody Angels or someone again, because they're a fancy team that everyone wants to talk about. We are a damn good team, and we are showing it yet again. And yes, exactly, mate. 70 wins after Rangers. That's the plan. That would do us nicely, wouldn't it? I think we were 5-5 against them. I wrote about this the other day. Something like that through the first 10 games. And looking at it thinking, we really need to be doing better than that. But we got the sweep. So I think we're 8-5 against them this season so far. So let's make that 11-5, get 3 wins on the board, get us up to 70 wins. That would be perfect. What a perfect way to end the weekend. A nice early game for us on a Sunday. 70 wins on the board. Could even, by that point, there's a fair chance we might even be at the top of the AL West if we can pull that off. So what a way to end the weekend that would be for all of us. So there we go. Anyway, I thought I don't normally do a post-game because post-game normally is very early in the morning or late at night. But as it was an early one, I thought I might do one. And as we won 17-0, my God, why wouldn't you? Oh, dearie me. Nate has admitted that. My apologies. It was Swansea. Very different. Very different. Okay. Apology accepted. Don't confuse us with Swansea. They're Swans, we're Canaries. I guess that means they win. You'd sooner be attacked by a Canary than a Swan, wouldn't you? But let's not go into birds right now. Let's concentrate on a 17-0 win by the A's and a great way to end the series sweep against Cleveland. So there we go. I've been on for half an hour, a bit longer than I thought, but it's been enjoyable. Thank you for everyone who joins in on the chat during these. That's why we like to do the live streams. We do the podcast, we do occasional YouTube videos, but I want to try and do more live streams like this because it's just nice to get comments coming through. And now I've got the graphics working where I can bring the comments up. It will be good. We're kind of in vacation season at the moment and that kind of affects work and other people's schedules. So it's just me at the moment. But I know Dom has done live streams in the past. Hannah's done live streams in the past. So we will hopefully have at least 2 of us on live streams in the near future. So we can have a chat. We can respond to comments and all things like that. So that'll be good. And in terms of the next one, I think we'll go for Sunday. So as I mentioned, the game on Sunday, let's bring that up again just to remind myself as much as anything, is 7:35 our time. So 8:35 in Europe and 11:35 if I'm working it out off the top of my head correctly. So yeah, we might go pre-game at 7 our time, so 8 European time, 11 Oakland time. We might go for that. It'll either be pre-game or post-game, but do follow us on Oakland A UK on Twitter. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. So we will, there you go, there are the details. So we will tweet out what we'll be doing on Sunday, whether it's a pre-game show or a post-game show. And yeah, if you're around, looking forward to the game, please do drop along and join in on the chat. And Nate has just clarified. I swore it was Nathan Redmond that did the name for Canaries, but this is what I found. A lot of avian warfare in the Prem. There's well, we've now got the bees of Brentford and the hornets of Watford. So lots of weird things going on in the Premier League. But all we need is hopefully for Norwich to not get a caning, which would be fine. I would, if we can get a draw on Saturday, I would be more than happy. Probably asking for too much, but that is the perfect weekend for me. well, the perfect weekend is a win, of course, but if we can get something, if Norwich can get something against Liverpool and we can complete a 3-game sweep and 10 wins in a row, I mean, come on Sunday, that would be great. So thank you again for everyone who's joined in on the live stream. Thank you if you've watched this afterwards on either Twitter or on YouTube. Let me know any comments you have about how we do the live streams, anything about the graphics, any ideas you've got for other features and things like that. Drop them in the comments and we'll do our best to have a look. And again, we will be on either a pre-game show on Sunday or a post-game show, and we'll tweet it out at Oakland A UK. So take a check on Twitter, join in, and thanks very much for watching and enjoying the celebrations of a wonderful 17-0 A's victory today. Brilliant stuff. Okay, thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon.